Welcome to the top 10 most anticipated comics for November 11th, 2022. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer, and this is Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully this list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And guys, before we jump into it, I just want to say thank you for supporting the Night Library and its Kickstarter, The Red Hunt. It actually succeeded in achieving its goal. It is 100% funded with 4 stretch goals. So I'm going to give a quick shout out to the Night Library and some of their other offerings. So there's nothing wrong with reading free comic books, so why don't you check out the Night Library? Here at the Night Library, you can find free comics, free manga, free graphic novels, and more. Some books already in the archives: Red Hunt, a gritty action-packed story of violence, monsters, and the blood-crazed hunters who seek them out. Some men hunt the monsters, others they become them. Also available, Song of Stone and Warlock. New content is always in the works, and make sure you sign up for the Night Library newsletter for up-to-the-minute updates on latest projects, sweepstakes, and new releases. So not only is the Night Library providing you free comic books, but if you enter your email and join their mailing list, they will send you a free gift. It's a win-win, no risk for you. So check out thenightlibrary.net. I'll leave it in the description box below. Kicking off this countdown now with the book that's on the hot seat, we have Blade: Vampire Nation. This is straight from the pages of the Avengers. This is issue 1, guys. Now, I've never been a huge Blade fan. However, I do find him kind of cool, and if the story is written well, then I might continue it after issue 1. But it just sounds like the same old thing where we have Blade who's going to be doing battle against Dracula and all his little bloodsucker guys. And you know what? If that's cool for you, that's awesome. And that's why I'm here. It's to let you know that this is coming out. For me, again, I'll have to read issue 1 to see what the artwork's like, what the dialogue is about, the plot, and all that other stuff. So letting you know it's there. It's 36 pages, and this one is $5. And let's talk about the book that's on the rise. We have Thunderbolts, issue 4. I like this book. I feel like this book has got some heart, and you get to feel some of the pain that Clint Barton is going through trying to lead this team, right? If he can't do battle against B and C-lister villains with his group and come out on top without causing chaos and mayhem and things like that, he knows that this group is not going to succeed, and he's struggling with that mentally. So at the end of the last issue, he reached out to Mockingbird, which is Bobby Morse, and it looks like that maybe she might join the team. It's hinted that she could make an appearance here, and she was in the original West Coast Avengers. Great book, man. I definitely recommend it. So this one is 28 pages, $4. And now we're talking about the book that's number 10 this week, and that one goes to 10,000 Black Feathers, issue 3. This one's done by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. When these guys teamed up back in the day when they did Green Arrow, and that was the first time I saw Sorrentino's artwork, and the way Jeff Lemire wrote Green Arrow, I was an instant fan of this creative team. So whenever they do books together, I really enjoy it. Now, I did read 10,000 Black Feathers issue 1 and 2 together, and we got to see 2 childhood friends come together, create this fantasy type of world, and one of them was successful for it. The other one kind of veered off and started partying and doing things. And we're getting to see how things developed when they were really young till now. And one of the childhood friends wound up going back to town, and we realized that the other friend was murdered. Like, why was she murdered? How was she murdered? Like, what's gone on in the time since, they split up being friends and stuff like that? I don't know, but I really enjoyed the book, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. This book is 28 pages, and this one's $4. All right. Coming in at number 9, you guys might laugh at this, but you guys know, if you're followers of my channel, I'm going to cover the Dark Web event. So we got the Gold Goblin, issue 1. Yes, it's not easy being gold when it comes to Norman Osborn, but based off of the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man, it looks like he might get on the glider again, but not as the Green Goblin, but the Gold Goblin. So I'm curious to see the story there, and I can respect that Norman Osborn is trying to stay on the straight and narrow. And, I don't know, man. I like it. I find it intriguing. Some people might not agree with me on that, but again, it's something different, right? He got all his sins cleansed from Sin Eater, and he doesn't seem like he has an evil bone in his body, and he's been trying to stay away from things, but his past always haunts him. 28 pages, $4. Coming in at number 8, I think we have a fun book on our hands here. We have Murder World Avengers issue 1. So what do you get? You get Arcade and you get the Avengers, and you got Arcade creating Murder World, and our Avengers have to survive in Murder World. I love this concept. We've seen it before. We've seen, I think it was Young Avengers be in Murder World quite a ways back. I don't know, going back maybe 7 years ago, and that story was absolutely great. And now we're doing it again with the Avengers, and they're trapped in this world. I love Arcade. I think Black Widow might have to be more of a major player in this game also, because if you remember, or if you read the Black Widow series that came out maybe a couple years ago during when the Black Widow movie was out, Arcade was behind the whole situation with her. He created a fake family for her, and she woke up and she was like, what am I? I don't remember that I'm a spy. So it looks like it's going to kind of tie into that series. Stay tuned for this book, guys. I think this one has strong potential. 28 pages, $4. All right, coming in at number 7, Midnight Suns, issue 3. So this book has been fun, as well as we've gotten to see one of the Strange Academy kids see an apocalyptic situation that's happened that has dealt with her. And now the only people that could see this is the people that have magic attached to them. And if you are not a magic wielder, it looks like that all of human race is going to die. So that's a lot of people that are going to die here. And so we got our cast of characters that are trying to solve the day. Clea has made her appearance in this book as well. And she took all the people that were part of the Midnight Suns and put them in the dark dimension. And she wants to handle the situation herself. Really great book, man. I enjoy it a lot. 28 pages, $4. Moving on to number 6, we have Deceased War of the Undead Gods. This is issue 4. What can I say about the Deceased series? It's always been great. It's always been surprisingly unpredictable when it comes to characters' deaths, and that's, I think, what I love about it. And it's very gruesome. It doesn't hold back, and even though this story might be a little bit more jumpy than, say, the previous stories, I still quite enjoy it. One of my favorite issues from this run so far was issue 2, as we get to see Darkseid, who now is part of the anti-life equation, who took the mother box and stuck it in War World, and now it's affected as well. And now all of our heroes just got that signal, just got that call that the new gods are all infected as well. It's going to be a tough task for our heroes. Great book, guys, written by Tom Taylor, 32 pages, $4. Coming in at number 5, and let me tell you, this is another week with some great books, guys. It's super stacked, and this book would have been higher on my list, but this is Junkyard Joe, issue 2. This comes from the pages of Geiger. We got to see the introduction of the character back in the Vietnam War, on how he helped his teammates go into war and try to save some of them. He sacrificed himself. He kind of developed a conscience, and this is just a robot, right? So very interesting concept here. And now we go into more of the future when it comes to Junkyard Joe, and just more stories that has to deal with the character. I think this book hit a lot of heart for a lot of veterans out there. I never served in the military, and this was for a great cause, as I think this went to vets as well, all the proceeds. So great story with a great cause, and you can't go wrong with a Jeff Johns and Gary Frank artwork story. So definitely recommend this one as well. 32 pages, $4. Coming in at number 4. The Return, once again, Something is Killing the Children, issue 26. It's been quite a while since we had an issue. James Tynion's fourth wonderful book. And this has to deal with Erica Slaughter, as she's no longer welcomed in the House of Slaughter. She's being hunted by a bounty hunter, by the, what's her name? By Cutter. And Cutter, I think, took care of her mentor in the last issue, if I remember correctly. Man, what a great story overall. And I can't wait to see how Erica Slaughter kind of, escapes the situation here, how she prevails. She's also trying to solve another case at the same time, but she's doing it on her own with no real help. Great book, great artwork. Always recommend this story to a lot of people out there. If you're going to read it, though, I suggest you buy the first couple of trades, get yourself caught up so you know who the character is, and so you get invested in her and the overall story. So this one's 32 pages, $4. Top 3 now, guys. It's getting good. We got Gunslinger, issue 14. So Gunslinger looks like at the end of the last issue, I think we are getting a little bit more of a origin story of Javier, like where he came from. It was back in the 1800s where he comes from, right? And he got time misplaced into current day, and now he's trying to get back to his time. And we get to see the people that he has lost when he was in the 1800s, and now today he's trying to get back at those people, and it's been great, man. Brett Booth has been killing it with the artwork as well. This is a book that you don't have to be a Spawn fan to appreciate. You don't have to read the other Spawn books to understand, and this is the one Spawn book for me that separates it from the rest of the Spawn books, because when you read King Spawn and you read Spawn and you read Scorch, they kind of all blend together, but this one is separated because it just feels like a totally different character, right? So yeah, definitely recommend it. $3 comic. Coming in at number 2. I think this was delayed a week. I think I talked about this last week. Could be wrong, but this is 8 Billion Genies, issue 6. Every time we read this book, we get, the first 8 minutes, the first 8 days, the first 8 weeks. Now we're going into the first 8 years. So a lot of time has passed now with these genies, and not everyone has still made their wish, but you get to see Earth that has definitely changed over the course of time, right? And we got to see that definitely in the last issue for sure. And I love this book. I love the progression of it, as well as we get to see the scope of Earth change. And I like that. But I'm curious to see how this whole thing will end. I think this ends at issue 8, I think, obviously, right? And I want to see this when the show comes out too, like what they'll do with this whole thing. And I want to know in the comments below, what do you guys think of 8 Billion Genies as well? 28 pages, $4. So after number 1, which I'm about to talk about, we're not done, as we will dive into those noteworthy comics, some books that are getting ready to come out that I may have not discussed in my top 10, and it could be your top 10. So that's what's so great about this hobby. Everyone's got different tastes of comics. But once again, it's got to go to World's Finest, issue 9. Until this book disappoints me in any way, shape, or form, this will not fall off my number 1 most anticipated list, because it always introduces new characters, and this one book feels like a DC universe of the past. Now, when you read the Batman vs. Robin book and you read this, the Batman vs. Robin references this book as this happened in the past. So that's why this feels like a much more lighter time or different time in the DC universe when you're reading this book. But this one looks like the Joker is here. So now I want to see what Mark Waid does when it comes to the whole Joker situation. And again, he's always introducing different characters. we've gotten to see this new character, David, who has actually come down from a different Earth, which was called Gotham, but exploded like Krypton. He's developed powers. He's been a sidekick of Superman, and he, in the last issue, kind of saved the day by rescuing people, but he did something to his planet. And it only showed one panel where it looks like, again, he was the one responsible for maybe it exploding. So hopefully we'll see what happens. But based off of this cover, we got Joker here, man. Can't wait for it. So now we're moving on to those noteworthy comic books. And the book that missed my top 10 this week, but still is on my list as a highly anticipated book, Nightwing, issue 98, as we get the introduction to Nightmite. So is this a spec book? Let me know in the comments below. Next, we have The Flash. This is issue 788. A lot of people are telling me, Mike, you got to read The Flash. It's a very underrated series. Not a lot of people are giving the love that it deserves. Next, we have Catwoman, issue 49. Not for the story, but for the 90s month variant. That's an absolutely gorgeous cover with Catwoman wearing her purple suit. I love that suit on her. Then we have Batman, One More Day, Mr. Freeze. This is issue 1. Then we move on to Marvel as we have She-Hulk. This is issue 8. I need some more story progression with this, man. Too much standing around, hooking up with Jack of Hearts and stuff like that. We need to get going here. I love the character, I love the artwork, but this book is starting to piss me off a little bit. Then we have Iron Man, issue 25. This is legacy numbering 650. This might be the last run or the last issue of this run before the new one kicks off. I could be wrong. Great artwork here on this cover. Alex Ross is doing it. Then we have Captain America and Winter Soldier Special. This is issue 1. And then we have Peach Momoko's Demon Wars Shield of Justice. This is issue 1, in case you've been checking all those out. Then we got a couple independent books out there for you guys. We have I Hate Fairyland, Volume 2. This is done by Scotty Young. The first volume of this, I hated it. It was like, it reminded me of like this Deadpool or Harley Quinn or a mix of two characters type of book, but it was this adventure. It was just so over the top. I don't know if this is going to be the same way. We'll see. I might give issue 1 a try. Then we have Death Dealer issue 7. I have to somehow read this book. Is there a trade out there? Let me know in the comments below. And then we're going to get Chicken Devils issue 2. Really love the first issue. Again, this didn't make my most anticipated because there's so many other great books out there. So guys, there you have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated. Consider checking out Whatnot. Download the app today. You guys can get $15 off of your first purchase, whether you're a comic book collector, a card collector, a Lego builder, wherever it is. That 15 bucks is good for anything. I'll leave it in the link below. And of course, guys, I'll leave you more of my content right here. This is my top 10 comic book covers of the week. Go ahead and vote on your favorite cover. It's a very great interactive series. And of course, guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read those comics. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Bye.